What's up guys, welcome back to my first video on this new channel. And basically today we're going to be learning about World War One. Woohoo! Basically you got two main characters, Austria-Hungary and the German Empire. Right, basically then this prince guy called Franz Ferdinand, he goes for a nice little drive in this city called Sarajevo. Now basically there's a bunch of people who don't like it there, and well, they want to rebel, assassinate people. So basically, a dude's going on a nice drive, gets assassinated by, we think is Serbians. So then Austria-Hungary is really angry because they just got their prince destroyed. So obviously they're going to be offended. They get really angry, declare war on them. But then guess what? Serbia is protected by Russia. And then, because basically, Balkan War, Russia held a bunch of Balkan people. But then Russia is allies with France. So Serbia is protected by Russia and France. And then Britain have maybe alliance sort of thing. But yeah. So, and Austria-Hungary, they can't do it alone. They can't face off 15 different countries. That's just not possible, right? So then, obviously, France, Russia are really angry. But then Germany is like, hey, Austria, wanna be friends? And so then, obviously, they're gonna be friends. So, round of applause for Alliance. Yeah, basically. So those two are chubbies, and then they have some and these were known as Central Powers. Then you have something called the Maggot Line, and it's basically the border between Germany and France. And you cannot get past this border because there's a bunch of bunkers, soldiers, whatever else. So what do you do as a German Empire? It doesn't make sense. Ooh, do you go over to Belgium? Ooh, now that's a good idea. But Britain protects Belgium. So what do you do now? Well, basically, Germany wants to march 2 million troops. 2 million. That's more than Scotland people, I don't know. Basically, there's a bunch of people or something. So yeah, they try and invade Belgium. It's going pretty good, but the Belgium, they don't want to get captured, basically. So they fight, and they fight, and they fight, and they use artillery and cavalry, whatever else these people just use nowadays. But yeah, then they take all the land, right? Then, I need a breather, bro. Whew, I'm talking way too much. Do I yap too much, guys? But basically, they're on site in Paris. What do the French do? Basically, the act of surprise, they've just taken a bunch of land. What do you do now? Well, guess what? This is what you do. You let them encircle your biggest line yet. Basically, the Germans, they get a bunch of land, they encircle the Maggot Line. Almost the entire French army is just destroyed. So yeah. But then the French people, they fight back a little bit. And then in the battle, there's a gap. There's a gap in the front line, so they have to retreat back quite a bit. And I mean quite a bit, so that's not good. And yeah, so now you have a bunch of trench lines running all the way from Belgium to Switzerland. I don't know what on earth they were thinking, but yeah, basically a bunch of trench line stuff. So now you basically have, and so yeah, they basically try to outflank each other over and over. This is called the Race to the Sea. And eventually, big fat stalemate. What do you do? I really need a breather because I yap way too much. But yeah, basically, there's a stalemate on the Western Front. Basically it. That's all you really need to know for now. But yeah, remember, Britain, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Britain is also in the French lines and all that stuff. They're part of the Entente, powers and stuff. So yeah, by the way, don't mind the background noise. I'm in my mum's bedroom. So yeah, basically, hello, Russia is ready. Bingata, bing, 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 bing. So yeah, Russia is ready a lot earlier than expected. What do you do? Basically, the Russians, they try to attack the Germans. It sort of ends up horrible. But yeah, basically, the Germans, they get really good and they basically destroy the entire second Russian army. The entire thing. Nobody left. So yeah, there goes 1/3 of the entire Russian army. Well done, Germany. So now, since the entire Russian front line just dead, the Germans invade a bunch of land down here. With the help of Austria-Hungary, they take a bunch of land, including Warsaw. Or is Warsaw on the other side of the border? Guess what? No idea! See, yeah. They got a bunch of land. Yeah. So, with this land, they keep on invading, because, they gotta take over Russia. I don't really know what to say here. Bummer for a bit, I guess. I gotta think about what I'm gonna say. I'm taking a breather, not gonna lie. Alright, ready. Basically, the Germans, they take a bunch of land from the Russians with the help of Austria-Hungary. That's basically all you need to know for the Eastern Front so far. For now. Now, ever heard of something called Italy? You know, the guy with the pizza and the pasta. This guy was originally friends with Austria-Hungary, just like Germany. So they were the three guys there. Oh, yeah. But then, guess what? Austria-Hungary, they got a little argument and stuff, tense relations, all that. They get really angry and they so yeah. Then they join the Entente force and they do a little invasion. And now you might think this invasion's gonna go well, yay, it's gonna end the stalemate. But you are dead wrong. Basically, they try to invade, it's a stalemate, just like every other front. So, that's not good. So yeah, basically, they try to break the stalemate with Italy. No. So now, what else do you do? So just like how the Entente got Italy, the Central Powers, like Germany and Austria-Hungary, they got the Ottoman Empire. Yeah, the Ottoman Empire still somehow exists, even in the 1914 stuff. But yeah, basically they're divided on, joining the war. But then some of the guys that want to join the war, they basically go on a little road trip, and they go choo-choo, or whatever the noise is for ships, and they blow up a bunch of Russian stuff. So then, Russia is really angry. Really angry. And when you have a Russia angry, you don't want to get Russia angry, because then they drink a bunch of vodka, and they get really scary and strong. And you don't want to drunk Russian on your front door. But yeah, basically, then when the British heard that the Ottomans joined the Central Forces, they go on a little ship and they go halfway around the world and stuff. So yeah, they go boop, 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 boop. And then eventually they reach Greece, right? And then once they reach Greece, they do a little small invasion. Guess how many people died? Over 20,000. So yeah, that's not good. But then the Ottomans, like, it fails, and the Ottomans push them back and stuff. So yeah, so that failed. The Ottomans failed. The Italians failed. Who else are they going to recruit next? Bulgaria. Now basically Bulgaria, they wanted some extra land from Serbia, like, to get Greater Bulgaria. And now they're like, hey, Austria-Hungary, if we invade Serbia for you, will you, like, let us keep the land? And then Austria-Hungary's like, oh yeah, sure, man, go for it. So then they get invaded. So then Serbia, who gets invaded by Bulgaria and Austria, and it goes real bad for the Serbians. Like, they lose their capital, Belgrade, and everything. So yeah, then like, they try to fight back, but it doesn't really work. So guess what they do next? They retreat to Albania. And basically, and the Austrians chase after them and stuff, and they're sort of like, hey, Albania, can you just let us, like, chase the Serbians down? Because there's a bunch of people trying to kill you right now, so yeah, just let us, yeah. So yeah, basically, the Balkans get destroyed, as well as Montenegro. So yeah, Balkans, Western Front, Eastern Front, Italy. What are you going to do now? Now, right now, basically, Russia, really poor, because all their kings and princes be partying all day. And that makes the people really angry. So the capital, St. Petersburg, is, like, really big. But yeah, guess what? There's a guy called Lenin who does not like the Russians at all. And I mean at all. So, like, yeah, what are you gonna do then? So then the Germans are like, ooh. And then they like, oh, let's send you on a choo-choo train across the world to get to Russia. Choo 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 choo. Yeah, then they reach St. Petersburg, and they're just chilling. But then they send him to start some revolutionary ideas. So yeah, basically, they start a rebellion, and then this rebellion spreads across Russia. So it starts in St. Petersburg, it's controlled, but then it happens somewhere else. And somewhere else. And then all these Russian soldiers, they have to go back from the front with Germany to go deal with them. And that allows Germany to get a bunch of free land, basically. So they just get, like, £1, basically. And they just invade the Balkans, like, super duper fast. And they get a bunch of land from this, right? So, what happened? Russia has a revolution. Germany just got a bunch of land. Then they invade a bit more, so they literally, like, they're 2 miles away from St. Petersburg. And guess what they do next? Basically, they're like, hey, Russia, we can just, like, it seems things aren't really going that good for you. Want to chill out and stuff? Want to chill out? But then they say, no. Because they have a big fat ego, I don't know. Maybe they're still drunk. And they basically decline the offer. Then they do a huge attack into Russia, like Ukraine, Russia sort of thing. So they go pow pow. Wow, they get destroyed. How obvious. But I think they should have just accepted the peace off treaty. Like, they could have easily dealt with their rebellion instead of fighting Germany. But guess what? Bad idea. Now you just lost a bunch of land. So then they're forced to make a peace treaty where they lose even more land. So yeah, Eastern Front, they're basically destroyed. What do you do? So then basically, Russia is forced to go out of the war because of the rebellion. It gets really bad and all that stuff. So yeah, that's the Eastern Front done for Germany. You are good for Germany. So woohoo, now it's just the Western Front. Now things on the Western Front have not been going good at all. And basically some guys called America, they basically like, hey, we want to join the war. So yeah, basically all the soldiers were French, British or German. They're all tired and lonely and their morale is all down. But then these USA people, America, they're all new and fresh. And then they start to push back the Germans. And it's like the thing is, it's like one battle, he'll be fine. But then it happens again in Belgium and northern France. Oh no. But then the Germans are still like, ooh, maybe we can still get the land back. But then, once again, they get destroyed. And that's not good. And then by this time, they're literally at the border on like German land. So that's not good at all. You don't want stinky Americans coming into your land. So yeah, basically, then Germany gets destroyed. That's basically the end of the video. Treaty of Verdun. Bye bye, guys. Here's a cute dog edit, because why not? I put random things at the end of the video. Bye.